Antiguans and Barbudans, they own all of the land in Antigua and Barbuda collectively.
Correct.
And the idea that one group of people, that the lands in Bolands belongs to Bolands people, those in Old Road belong to Old Road, those in Barbuda belong to Barbuda. I mean, evidently, there's no constitutional legal basis for those claims. And what I want to say to Kublai and them, and I have not made any pronouncement on this issue, I have actually kept above the fray deliberately. It's not a coincidence I haven't said anything about it. I'm just watching the development of the protest actions, but ultimately they have to respect the property rights of those individuals. So if they eventually get a lease or they have a lease on that property, Kublai can jump high, jump low. He cannot do anything about it because property rights are literally, they're protected by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda. So they have to respect people's property rights. And if the Crown gave that entity a lease, in other words, if they bought it and they have freehold title, they cannot be making the claim that because it's located in Old Road, that it ought to be given to individuals in Old Road. Now, we do accept that, we want to encourage Old Road people to own as much land as possible in Old Road. But if there are other Antiguans and Barbudans who can own Crown land in Old Road in order to increase our productive capacity in agriculture, that is a win-win for everybody, not only the people of Old Road, but the entire nation. So what I'll say to Kublai and others is that they ought to respect the property rights of individuals, irrespective as to where in the country they would have gotten land. My understanding, the person is an Antiguan, and on the basis that that person is Antiguan, that person has the right to own land here. That person doesn't need any license from anyone to own land. And again, those rights of the individual should be respected. And this idea that former Prime Minister Lester Bird gave them a letter saying that the land belonged to them, that has no legal basis. That is just total mischief. Probably some form of fabrication, because former Prime Minister Lester Bird, as a lawyer, ought to know that he could not transfer title to anyone on the basis of writing a letter. I mean, title obviously have to be secured by a particular process. It has to be a transfer in which the land is transferred from the Crown to a particular individual. There are certain processes that have to be followed. And unless the land was legally transferred or leased to, let's say, individuals within Old Road, this basis that they got some letter from a former prime minister that gives them the land is just utter foolishness. And it seems as though they're trying to follow the situation in Barbuda. And they just need to stop it, because at the end of the day, it is not something that they can sustain. Having said that, I want the people of Old Road to understand that my government will always extend preference to them if they want to lease or purchase land in Old Road. So it's not a case that we're trying to displace the people from Old Road, but this idea that people outside of Old Road cannot own land in Old Road, that is not something that my administration will tolerate. And in any case, it is not a legal position that they can sustain. So they just need to cease and desist. Obviously, Kublai trying to create strife as usual and to look notoriety. I heard he made some statement to the effect that we should not be supporting people who are based on what they can give you, but based on the protection of your land. But guess what? It should be both. Protecting the land and what you can get in terms of gains from the developmental process. But for some reason, they come up with these little slangs and people picking them up, not even looking at the shallowness of their speech and their thinking. And what they're trying to do here is to dumb down our people. And Kublai has had a propensity of doing that kind of foolishness. Now, I'm not looking at any fight with them. And as I said, I had chosen not to say anything in it. But I have a policy. I must be able to speak about any issue in this country without fear or favor. All I know is that I'll be firm, I'll be fair, and I will always come down on the side as to what's right. And I look in a popularity contest, At the end of the day, as I said to my ministers, when I seat, I win in mine.